Good morning, everyone. We're going to start the event. Welcome to this first ONC presentation event from Pamplona, from the Theresa PCP project. We would like to thank you all for joining us. We've seen a lot of people interested in our initiative, which for us is really good to see that so many people around Europe really want to test and find a solution for the challenge that we think that we should be tackling from this consortium. As I said, thank you very much for joining us. We have along in the table representatives from the local hospital, the University Hospital of Navarre here in Pamplona. As you know, we are the coordinators of this consortium. Along with me is Mrs. Estrella Petrina, Managing Director of the hospital, whom now I give the floor. Estrella, the floor is yours.
Good morning and welcome to this Theresa meeting. I hope it will be productive and satisfactory for all of us. The University Hospital of Navarra is committed with the ecological transition, and as such, this is one of the projects that assists us and in which we truly believe, and where we feel we can make a valuable contribution. I now hand you to our economical director, Mila Larrayo, that is going to introduce you what this means in our hospital. Thank you very much for joining us.
Buenos días. En el Hospital Universitario de Navarra estamos muy sensibilizados con la sostenibilidad, con el cuidado del medio ambiente, y por eso nos hemos embarcado en este proyecto Theresa.
For us, at the hospital, the University Hospital of Pamplona, the ecological impact of our hospital is something that is really relevant, and that's why being a hospital for us is important to be part of this project.
El sector salud es un sector que, si fuera un país, sería el quinto país más contaminante del mundo.
If the healthcare sector was a country, it would be the fifth most contaminant country in the world.
Y los hospitales estamos preocupados del cuidado de nuestros pacientes, pero estamos incorporando también el cuidado del planeta para mejorar también la vida de nuestros pacientes, de toda la ciudadanía.
Since we know that our patients is the first thing in our lives, we also know that if we do not take care of the environment, we are going to impact in their health. So that's why we want to take care of also the environment, which is linked to their health.
Nuestro hospital es como una gran ciudad con unos consumos enormes de materiales. 3 millones de jeringuillas, por ejemplo, en un año, 14 millones de guantes.
Our hospital is like a small city, and it's consuming as much resources as a small city would. For example, we're consuming 3 million syringes a year or 14 million gloves.
Mandamos lavar 2 toneladas de ropa y consumimos 50 millones de kilovatios de energía.
We are sending 2 million tons of clothing for laundry, and we are consuming 50 million kilowatts hour average a year.
Y consumimos también 175.000 metros cúbicos de agua. Y ese agua después va a los colectores.
We are also consuming 175,000 cubic meters of water, which then is going to the city processing plants.
Generamos también más de 2.000 toneladas de basura y algunas de ellas con residuos peligrosos.
We are generating more than 2,000 tons of waste every year. Some of them are actually dangerous waste.
Y el número de personas o pacientes que atendemos supera los 3 millones al año en diferentes tipos de actividades.
We are actually attending more than 3 million people every year through different activities.
Entonces, alineadas con las ODS, estamos trabajando en 9 ejes de actuación.
That's why we fixed 9 different axes of actuation under UN's Sustainable Development Goals.
Estamos trabajando desde la gerencia en la estrategia y en las acciones de sostenibilidad.
From the hospital's management, we are working in the agenda, in the strategy, and in different actions to actually tackle this problem.
Trabajando también en los pacientes y el impacto que la sostenibilidad puede hacer en la atención.
We're working always with the patient in mind and in the impact that our actions can have in their attention.
En la parte de infraestructuras, con las construcciones, la edificabilidad.
We think also in the installations parts of our hospital and in the construction of the buildings and the different services.
En los consumos de agua, de energía.
In the energy and water consumption.
En la movilidad de los pacientes y los profesionales.
Mobility and environmental impact, not only from the patients, but also from the professionals.
En la compra responsable.
In a responsible purchasing of all the necessary resources.
En los residuos que generamos.
In the management of all the waste that we are generating.
En la alimentación, porque somos un restaurante que da de comer todos los días a 1.000 personas, desayuno, comida y cena, y tiene un impacto muy importante.
Also in the food and the restoration, because after all, we are a restaurant who is going to feed more than 1,000 people, not only lunches, but also breakfast and dinners, and that has an important impact.
Y por último, los profesionales, que son los que hacen que todo el sistema funcione y que tenemos que también cuidar y mejorar su manera de trabajar.
And last but not least, also in the professionals who we have to take care of in order to assure that they are giving their best to our patients.
Y por todo esto es lo que nos ha motivado a participar en este proyecto, Teresa, para trabajar en lo que estamos trasladando fuera del hospital para que se minimice el impacto del hospital en el medio ambiente.
And taking all this in consideration is why we have decided to actually participate in Theresa in this project to take care of what the hospital is throwing to the environment.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much for wanting to take part in this project. Thank you, Mila. Thank you, Estrella. And well, I've missed a little part, which was actually important, and that was the house rules that are going to govern this meeting. First of all, please be aware that we are going to record this event because as you know, we have several different events during January and February. And these events are going to be available for all of you if you want to revisit them through these months, okay? So it's going to be recorded. If anyone does not wish to appear, you are kindly requested to switch off your camera now. Also, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please write them in the chat because we will answer as many as possible at the end of the session during the questions and answers part of this webinar. As I said, not only the recording, but also the presentation will be made available on the project's website. And also, we take care of privacy, and the list of participants in this webinar will not be disseminated. So with no other acclarations to be performed. Now, what we want to give you is the information about what Theresa PCP is aiming for, and we have on the other side to Carlos Larrañeta from the Andalusian Healthcare Service. Carlos, we are going to stop sharing your screen now, and you can take care of the screen.
Thank you, Javier. Good morning, everybody. Let me share my screen. I'll start right away. I guess you can all see my screen now in presentation mode, right? Yeah, I see it in small. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Carlos Larrañeta. I'm the head of Public Procurement of Innovation, Protection and Technology Transfer at the Andalusian Public Health System. Therefore, I represent one of the public buyers in the Theresa consortium. And I was also the coordinator of the Procure for Health project. This does not make sense yet, but it will in a couple of minutes. My work today is to provide context so we all have a clear idea of the project's objectives and how we intend to achieve them. Theresa, what is Theresa? Theresa is a European pre-commercial procurement project. In this kind of projects, public organizations collaborate with the market to develop and test innovative solutions that are not yet available commercially. That's the basic definition of a pre-commercial procurement project. In this case, we have almost 3 million euros for this collaboration. We will see this budget, these resources for the developers and the development of the solutions. And we will see later today that we intend to fund several different solutions in parallel. Okay, so as I said, I was the coordinator of the Procure for Health project. Procure for Health has been the seed of this project. This is where it comes from. What was Procure for Health? Procure for Health was a project, an European project devoted to dynamize the use of demand-driven innovation among healthcare systems in Europe, what we also know as public procurement of innovation. And the focus of the project was on building up the capacities of the public buyers, the public procurers, to engage efficiently in this kind of activities. From the very beginning, our philosophy was learning by doing. So in public procurement of innovation, the start of the process, the beginning of the process is the identification and prioritization of unmet needs. So in our work, in our groups, it was quite clear from the very beginning that because of the nature of our activities, like it was presented at the very beginning, our hospitals are sources of pollution. And because, I mean, our responsibility, environmental responsibility, but also the public health implication that it has. We acknowledge, we saw, and we studied all our environment and health strategy, and it was quite clear from the very beginning that water management was or played a key role in these activities. So we, let's say, promptly identified that we had the need to develop on-site systems capable of effectively removing toxic substances, infectious compounds, pharmaceutical residues, and pathogens from hospital wastewaters at the point where they have the higher concentration and before they are discharged to the municipal wastewater networks. One of the strengths of the Criminal of Innovation instruments is the possibility to refine and fine-tune the description of the challenges in an iterative way and continuous way throughout the process of the project, collaboratively with the market, with the suppliers, with the potential developers. In Procure for Health, we did start this process. We conducted a state-of-the-art analysis. We did a previous open market consultations, and we found out that there are several potential solutions in the market, but that none of them tackle all the pollutants that we wanted to handle, and that they all face significant constraints in order to be implemented. In order to be able to, there was nothing available in the market that fully gave response to our needs, meaning that we couldn't find any solutions that we could, let's say, purchase off the shelf and plug in and put into work. So the conclusions of these open market consultations are available in Procure for Health communication and dissemination format. I really encourage the potential developers to go and take a look at it, because what we're doing here is continuing this iterative process of narrowing down the challenges, and we want to build up from there. So what is the challenge up to this point? We seek to build, based on current technologies and pilots, a new technology that removes efficiently, in a cost-effective way, obviously, cytostatic drugs, contrast agents, antibiotics, antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and antibiotic-resistant genes. And we want to install those in our hospitals so we can attack, as I said before, these pollutants when the concentration is higher and before they are discharged into the municipal and common wastewater network. In this slide, you can see, or you can have a first glance, and we will dive in much more detail lately, but you can have a first glance of our priorities among the pollutants that we're talking about. The goal, what is the main goal of the project? We have some barriers to overcome in order to achieve this. And our unmet needs should be tackled through the centralized system that meets, in a viable, economically and environmentally friendly manner, the disinfection needs of the public buyers participating in the project. Who are the public buyers in this project? Well, you can see here in the slides who we are. We have 3 public buyers from Spain, the region of Andalusia, Navarra, our coordinators, and Catalonia, the Consortium Hospitalier de Vic. We have SAS from Belgium. We have the University Hospital of Maastricht from the Netherlands. We have the Olsztyn Hospital from Poland, and we have the northern region of Estonia, from Estonia, obviously. And we are quite happy with the consortium also, because not only because of the public values, and also because of the supporting organizations that are supporting us in order to tackle these very ambitious projects. We have some of the most knowledgeable supporting organizations in the topic: procurement of innovation, health, and sustainability. During the journey with us, we have Silo, we have Healthcare Without Harm, Corvers, TIC Biomed, Sunning, and EA2 to help us tackle these projects. And well, this is it from my side. As an introduction, thank you very much. And I'll leave the floor to next speaker.
It's me. Good morning, everybody. I will share my screen in order to take the floor. Can you please confirm if you can see my screen in presentation mode? I think, yes, I can see it. Great. Good morning, everybody. I'm Lucrezia. I'm a legal consultant in Corvers, one of the supporting partners in Theresa PCP, and thank you for being here. Today, I'm going to walk you through some key concepts that are essential for understanding pre-commercial procurement. First, we will look at what public procurement actually is and why it needs to be regulated. Then, we will briefly examine where it is regulated. After that, we will move to the topic of innovation procurement and the concept of technology readiness level, or TRL. And finally, we will explore pre-commercial procurement, known as PCP, and the specific legal framework that governs it. But let's begin with what is public procurement and why is it regulated? Public procurement refers to the process through which public authorities, such as national ministries, regional governments, or local municipalities, purchase works, goods, or services from companies selected for this purpose. Public procurement is regulated for very important reasons, because it involves the use of public funds, so the process must be transparent, fair, and accountable. Regulation ensures that decisions are based on an objective and serious assessment. And the EU aims to ensure that public money is spent in an efficient way, responsibly, and in a way that delivers the best value for citizens. Where is it regulated? At the core, as we can see from the slide, we have the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. The TFEU lays down 4 fundamental principles that shape all procurement procedures. We have transparency, equal treatment, non-discrimination, and proportionality. The first one is transparency. This means that public authorities, for example, must publish notices about the contract, ensuring that all potential interested suppliers are aware of the opportunity. Then we have equal treatment. Contracting authorities must apply the same rules to all bidders. So, for example, they cannot change the requirements once proposals have been submitted. Then we have non-discrimination. So competition must be open to all European suppliers, can be an example. And finally, proportionality. Any requirements imposed on suppliers must be reasonable and justified. For example, exclusions must be based on objective reasons and not on arbitrary or onerous conditions. Then we have the European directive. So building on those treaty principles, the European Union has adopted a series of directives that provide detailed rules for different procurement sectors. We have the Directive number 24 of 2014, which covers procurement by public sector institutions. Then we have Directive 25 of 2014, which applies to utilities such as water, energy, and transport. For concession, we have Directive 23 of 2014. Then there is also Directive 81 of 2009 dedicated to defense and security procurement. And finally, the Remedies Directive number 66 of 2007. This concludes a general overview of the current European Union legal framework applicable to the principal public procurement scenario. But let's move to innovation, procurement, and TRL, our focus of today, and how it operates across the different stages of technology development. Innovation procurement occurs when public buyers do not purchase existing solutions, but instead support the development or the deployment of pioneering innovations. The image that we can see in this slide provides just a simplified overview of the entire innovation pathway, from early curiosity-driven research to the deployment of commercial solutions, represented through the progression from TRL 1 to TRL 9. TRL stands for Technology Readiness Level, and in the next slide, we will look at those technology readiness level in more detail as they form the structure for understanding the different innovation procurement approaches. But we can see that curiosity-driven activities typically lie around TRL 2 or 3, while pre-commercial procurement usually begins around TRL 4 or 5 and extends up to TRL 8. Pre-commercial procurement covers the phases shown on the left side of this image, of this graphic. And we have solution design, prototype development, and testing of first products. Multiple suppliers are typically involved in parallel, and after each phase, only those offering the most promising results move forward. This approach allows public buyers to compare different technological approaches, reduce the risk associated with innovation, and stimulate competition. We have the PPI approach on the right side of the image, that is public procurement of innovative solution, and it covers situations in which solutions have reached a higher readiness level, typically TRL 8, 9, and are market ready. In this approach, the public authority procures the deployment of those newly developed products or services. So it focuses on enabling the uptake and wider diffusion of innovative solutions. But let's move to the technology readiness level, which provides an overview of the commonly known as TRL that give a structured way to assess how mature a technology is, from the very first idea all the way to a fully operational system. As we can see, TRL 1 corresponds to a basic concept being observed for the very first time. TRL 2, those concepts are formulated into technology concept. TRL 3 marks the experimental proof of concept. TRL 4 indicates the technology has been validated in a laboratory environment, so we are still far from real-world use. TRL 5 is validation in a relevant environment, while TRL 6 is demonstration in that relevant environment. At TRL 7, we see a system prototype demonstrated in an operational environment. TRL 8 represents a complete and qualified system. TRL 9, finally, shows the actual system has been proven in an operational environment. So this is the highest level of maturity of a technology. So essentially, the technology is ready for real-world deployment. From this slide, we can see how different technology readiness levels connect directly to the corresponding procurement approaches. So the diagram also shows how pre-commercial procurement aligns with the mid-range TRLs, while public procurement of innovative solution applies to technologies that are higher end of the scale. So overall, this visual makes clear how TRL help public buyer understand the maturity of a technology and choose the most appropriate procurement approach. Considering that pre-commercial procurement align with the mid-range TRL, PCP is a public procurement of research and development services. So it is characterized by three essential features. First, the development is competitive and carried out in phases. We have three phases. As shown in this slide, multiple contractors begin in phase 1 and only the best performers move on to the following stages. Second, PCP involves a risk-benefit sharing mechanism under market condition. So both the public buyer and the contractors shared risks, and potential future benefit. This means that the public procurer does not pay the full cost of R&D carried out under the contract, and the public buyer so receives a price reduction, we may say, on the IPR arising from the PCP. Then there is a clear separation between the procurement of R&D services and the later deployment of commercial volumes of end products. In other words, PCP focus on R&D, and any purchase of commercial solution happens separately outside the PCP. So as the slide shows, the PCP is organized into 3 sequential phases, and each phase has a clearly defined duration, a maximum budget per contractor, and an indicated number of participating suppliers. And as indicated in the image, the Theresa PCP project expects to reach a prototype level by the end of the process, aligned with the higher TRL shown for phase 3. So this means that the PCP is designed to mature the technologies to a point where they are demonstrated and validated, but not yet purchased in commercial quantities. By the final phase, we expect to have validated prototypes, reaching the targeted TRL, ready for potential future deployment through other procurement approaches. Finally, the final slide that summarizes the legal framework that applies to pre-commercial procurement. The key point here is that PCP falls outside the scope of the European Public Procurement Directives. This exclusion, as we can see from the slide, is explicitly stated in Article 14 of Directive 24 of 2014. Since PCP does not satisfy the 2 cumulative conditions because its benefits are not restricted to the public buyer alone and the R&D is not fully remunerated by the authority, PCP remains outside the directives, outside the scope of the directive. Even though the directives do not apply, the general principle of the TFEU still do, the one that we mentioned before at the beginning of this presentation. So this means that transparency, equal treatment, non-discrimination, and proportionality must be respected throughout the entire PCP process. And the European Commission has also provided key guidance documents that shape the legal framework for PCP. These include the 2007 communication pre-commercial procurement, driving innovation to ensure sustainable, high-quality public services in Europe, and the 2022 framework for state ID for research, development, and innovation. This concludes my part of the presentation, and should you have any question, me and my colleague Beatrice from Corberts will be more than happy to address them during the Q&A session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lucrezia, for your presentation. We are now handing the floor to Anna Fuster from the University Hospital of Vic, who is going to talk us about the overview of the open market consultation structure and events. Anna, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to everybody. I'm Anna Fuster, the Sustainability Manager from Consorcio Hospitalari de Vic. We are one of the buyers from this project, and we have different hospitals in Catalonia, and the one which is participating is the University Hospital from Vic. I'm going to explain you a little bit the overview of the open market consultation, the aim, and who can participate, and some of the mechanisms of engagement. Basically, the open market consultation aims to raise awareness among industry stakeholders and potential research and development providers about the forthcoming tender, validate and refine the technical and financial specifications that we have been defining with the buyers group, collect insights from the market to ensure the tender aligns with cutting-edge, feasible, and sustainable technology solutions, and inform the market about the Theresa PCP opportunities and process, encourage possible suppliers to participate, and facilitate the matchmaking among suppliers. Next slide, please. So who can join? Mostly all organizations with interest in the wastewater treatment, environmental technology, digital monitoring, automation, sensing, or hospital infrastructure sectors. This includes, but is not limited to technology providers, whether SMEs, large industry, or startups, research institutions and universities, environmental and water sector organizations, also hospitals, utilities, and wastewater authorities, or intermediaries supporting innovation procurement. So everybody is invited in this open market consultation. Next slide, please. So, what does the open market consultation offer for suppliers? To know needs and priorities from the Theresa procurers, obtain information about the future PCP, make the entity known to the procurers and potential collaborators, and influence in the preparation of the coming tender. And for the procurers, a cross-check and clarify the assumptions for the call for tenders, obtain new information from the market, that's crucial, and make potential interested buyers aware. Next, please. Yes, next slide. Now, so today is the first event here in Spain, but there are going to be some more events in Estonia, Poland, Belgium, the Netherlands, and finally a wrap-up event on the 26th of February. And each of these events is going to focus in one topic, and all of them will be recorded and uploaded in the website. So it's going to be public for everybody. There's a matchmaking tool. There are going to be pitches in every session, like today. After this presentation, there are going to be 3 or 4 pitches. There's a bilateral meeting too. And the most important, a questionnaire that can be submitted till the 24th of February. So these are some of the mechanisms for engagement of the project. Next slide, please. Yes, here. Just the confidentiality clause, which means that the contracting authority may not disclose any technical or commercial information that may have been provided by the participants, which they have designated and reasoned as confidential. That means that the suppliers must identify the documentation or the technical or commercial information that they consider to be confidential. And it is not permissible for them to make a generic declaration or declare that all the documents or all information is confidential. So participants may designate some of the documents submitted as confidential. And the final regulatory clause, hopefully, is available. Next slide. It is a non-binding consultation, which means that the open market consultation does not constitute a condition for participation in any subsequent procurement procedure and shall not result in any advantage, preferential treatment, or prejudice in the context of any future tender or contract award. And that will be all from my side. So thank you very much.
Hello, good morning. I hope you...
for your presentation. Now we are giving the floor to Sofia from Sanin, who is going to explain the expectations for suppliers during the OMC. Sofia, we've seen you have some problems with your connection, maybe. So if you see that there are some problems, just try turning off your camera just in case, or if you need it, just tell us and we will handle the presentation from here.
Yeah, there is some delay. I hope it will not be repeated. Here, my name is Sofia Moreno, representing Sunning Consulting, supporting partner in Theresa. And well, how this interaction between suppliers and procurers will be handled during the Theresa OMC. We expect to have several ways of feedback from your side. We expect to have feedback about the technical specification that we have defined. You will see that so far they are extensively, they are detailed so far, and we need to know if they are realistic or not, or if maybe if we can go beyond our expectations. Of course, the implementation of the technical specification that are given in a functional way will be associated to performance criteria. Obviously, the energy consumption is very relevant. The way the components are integrated, the removal rate, all those performance around the implementation of the requirement will be absolutely significant. We have 2.9 millions, and we have proposed a distribution between the different phases of the PCP. The PCP is, as has been said, is a competition between different consortiums through phases. Do you think our actual distribution is okay, or would you propose an alternative? We have 3 months for prototype design, 10 months for the implementation of the prototype, and 10 months for the field validation. Is that okay, or would you suggest an alternative distribution of the timeline? Well, we plan to test in different locations, in different conditions. Do you have suggestions about what will be needed there? What infrastructure, utilities, or support should be provided there? We have already also drafted for you our intellectual property right arrangement for the further exploitation of the result. Is that okay for you companies to work in these terms? If not, why? It is important to emphasize that all this work will be done openly and transparently. All the questions, all the answers, all the insights that will be provided to any of the potential supplier will be published anonymously on our website. There will be no privileged information from no suppliers, and every information that will be provided to one will be automatically made public for the rest. Why we need this process? Because we want to have a very successful tender, able to get the most from the market, but still feasible. This is why we want to inform all potential competitors and to get our tender tailored to the current state of the art and the current feasibility of solutions. And the result of our tender should be future-proof for several years, be the most advanced that the state-of-the-art can offer, but still be achievable. So, how we expect you to provide feedback? I will be back to this slide later, but now I will take you to our website. Well, the most powerful tool that we have to collect feedback from the market is our questionnaire. The questionnaire or the survey, you can find both names in different places. To fill the questionnaire, you have to use the scope document, the Theresa OMC document that you can download from our website. This document includes all the information that we have been able so far to collect and to present to you. It has many sections and it contains all the information that you will need to go through the questionnaire and to understand everything related to Theresa, to both to the content of the of our expected tender and also related to the process in terms of what are all the content that we have explained here today will be described in details in this document. Then, if you go to the questionnaire, you will find that our questionnaire is pretty exhaustive and that we are asking really a lot of things. Don't worry, we don't expect you to fill in everything. We are more looking for quality in your answer than for quantity. So please read carefully all the sections that we have in the questionnaire and fill those for which you have the right information to give us. We don't expect, there are many sections, we don't expect you to have, this is organized through different sections and pages. We don't expect you to have all the information that we need. And we don't expect you to be able to provide the whole solution to the problem. We expect more that you go in consortium where different companies became able to collaborate to provide the whole solution. This is why you will be invited to fill as many surveys as you need to describe all the models that you plan to include into the final solution that you provide to Theresa. So we expect a modular approach, and we expect to have a description of each of the different models. If you will find several table like this, where we have described the substance that we expect to remove, or the functional requirement that, or the performance requirement that we expect around all these products. Well, it could also be possible, in case you already have this information in a different format, in any sort of documents, that you upload the document instead of filling in all these different sections that we have asked for. You are also invited to provide us with answers that we didn't ask if we didn't figure out that there are things that we need to answer, but you have good information for us, then please make it accessible for us. Don't forget that the objective is to fine-tune our tender. And if your information is useful with that purpose, the tender will be better suited to your interest, so and also to ours. So please help us providing all the information that you can. We have several aspects, like the contaminant address, the functional capabilities, the social and environmental aspect, the operational and integration aspect, the costing and business model. We need a solution to be sustainable in the long term and to be affordable for the participant hospital. So any information related with the cost structure of the proposed solution or what we could expect will be highly valuable. If there are things that we have included that will make our solution not affordable, please let us know and let's try to shape it in a feasible way for all participants. Very, very important. When you finish to provide us with all the information that we have requested, please don't forget to fill this CAPTCHA and to ensure that you have submitted. Otherwise, we will not receive it, and it will not be the first time that someone forget to complete this very last step. In our web, this is all related to the questionnaire, please. This is very, very important for us. So also with our tools, if you go to our website, you will find questions and answers. Our questions and answers will be periodically updated with your questions and your question and the question from anyone, even those arisen during the events, will be published and will be anonymized and will be published here. So please have a look from time to time to keep updated on any news that will be related with our open market consultation. We have a matchmaking tools because, as I mentioned before, we don't expect that any company will be able to provide the whole solution to the problem. So we expect that consortiums will be created to provide comprehensive solutions to the problem. So you will be invited to use some of these labels to define yourself and to find also your colleagues. To appear in the matchmaking tools, it is mandatory to fill the questionnaire. Also, if you want to participate in bilateral meetings, you will be invited to fill the questionnaire. It is a mandatory step before participating in that. So please check our website for update on the questions and answers and to access our questionnaire and OMC document. And if you want to find partner to build your consortium through the matchmaking platform, you are invited to pitch in our events and all the recording, including the pitches, will be also published in our website. Well, please give us your information so we can tailor the tender to the real needs of the real feasibility and the real expectation from the market. Thank you very much. I leave the floor to the next speaker.
Great. Thank you very much, Sofia, for your presentation. Oops, sorry about that. We are now going to show you a little bit of context about what you are going to find here in Spain in the different hospitals that are participating in this consortium. We are contributing with 3 healthcare institutions to the Theresa PCP buyers group, which are going to represent diverse hospital sizes, specialization, and wastewater management challenges. These facilities are going to provide the critical real-world testing environment for validating the innovative solutions that you are going to provide in order to tackle this challenge. There are 3, as I said, different hospitals: the University Hospital of Navarre here in Pamplona, the University Hospital Virgen de la Macarena in Seville, in Andalusia, and the University Hospital of Vic in Catalonia. These three hospitals are proactive in seeking sustainable solutions to reduce pharmaceutical discharge, AMR spread, and also align with the European Union's Green Deal and Zero Pollution Action Plan. Thank you. We wanted to give you also a little bit of information about these three hospitals. First, the University Hospital of Navarre here in Pamplona is a multiple building hospital which attends a catchment area of 686,000 people. It's a general hospital with more or less 780,000 outpatient visits and 1,000 beds. It's going to participate in phase 3, so the prototype will be validated here in a real operational environment. Then, as we said, we have the hospital Virgen de la Macarena in Seville with 777 beds and a catchment area of 481,000 people, and an outpatient visits of 1,036,899 people. In this hospital, they will make some prototype testing of the phase 2 in laboratory conditions, along with the University Hospital of Vic in Catalonia, which has a catchment area of 171,000 people and 182,000 outpatient visits. These three different hospitals are providing different challenges in order to test the prototypes in lab or real life conditions. We are now trying to provide more information to you about the different specifics of these hospitals. For example, in wastewater flow and variability, because we have in one cases discharge information, in other cases we have consumption information. We are going to make measurements along this year, and as I said, we have some estimation of peak flows. Then we have also difference in infrastructure available monitoring. In some cases, we have segregation of water. It's different, the treatment to rainwater, to laboratory, laundry, or radioactivity installation wastewater. We have difference in discharge points depending on the building or the area of the hospital. We have hospitals with a single discharge point and hospitals with multiple discharge points. And we have, as I said, a difference in the management of the wastewater and the rainwater. Also, we wanted to clarify that we are looking forward to some kind of integration in building management systems, because for us, it's really important to have all the information in a single platform. So please take that in consideration. And also, we have difference in quality monitoring in different hospitals. Then we also had these different hospitals because we can see different challenges tending to space limitations. For example, here in Pamplona, we have space available, but we have one only main collector, which is 6 meter deep underground. So that can provide possible installation challenges. Also, our electrical capacity may require upgrades. It's in the middle of the city, which is going to provide some challenges in terms of noise and other control. If we think about the Hospital University of Virgen de la Macarena, it has multiple outdoor manholes available, but also it's inside the city, which supposes environment limits and also noise and other concerns. And then we have the University Hospital of Vic, which has an allocated area from former wastewater treatment plant available. So there it would be a really different situation in order to try a possible prototype. Then you're also going to face differences in operational capacity. Here in Pamplona, we have a large in-house maintenance team with all the different technicians necessary, capable of routine supervision. But then in Virgen de la Macarena and Vic, they have outsourced some parts of the operation. So you should take in mind that some of the things are going to be tackled by outsourced enterprises. So you're going to find structural and organizational differences, some vertical and horizontal hospitals, multiple buildings, single discharge points, multiple discharge points. And we are actually working in defining the common traits in order to develop these pilot scale solutions. And we are really going to end this presentation and start with the pitch sessions from the companies. We wanted to have a little wrap up, okay? If you are potential suppliers, please, pretty please, sign up for the following online events. We have another 5 events during January and February. In our webpage, you will have which is the main point that is going to be tackled in the different events. So please, if that thematic is important to you, sign up for the event. It's not going to be all the time the same. You're not going to be hamsters running in a wheel, okay? They are going to be different. Also, remember to provide feedback via our questionnaire, and remember that the questionnaire is not sent if you not press the send button, okay, the submit button. It's not just filling the blanks, it's also submitting it. And also you will have the questions and answers platform where we will be posting all the relevant questions that you are going to send us via email or via the platform. Also, remember that if you can tackle a part of the problem, but not the whole problem, we are looking forward to the formation of consortiums among different European companies. So please pitch in the following events in order to let your possible partners know that you are here and that you have expertise in any specific part of the whole process, and use our matchmaking tool in order to find those possible partners. And also, if you think that it's interesting for someone you know, please share this project and this open market consultation to stakeholders of interest. Remember, these are the key dates for our project. We are going to have the open market consultation until the 28th, but remember, the questionnaire must be sent by the 24th of February. Around May 2026, we will have the publication of the tender, okay, for the phase 1, which will take part between January and March of next year, 2027. In that, we expect to receive the design of the solution. Phase 2, we will be during July till April 2028, where we will have a lab test of a prototype, and then during phase 3, August 28 till May 29th, we will have the validation in real operational environment of the final solutions that are going to be actually tried in a real situation. As we said, remember, we have another 5 different events during January and February with different topics that are going to be tackled. So as I said, please keep visiting our webpage where you will have all the information. If you see a topic that is interested, please sign up for that event. And also remember that the video of that event and the presentation of that event will be available also through our webpage. Now, I would like to go to the next point, which will be the different pitches from the different companies, because as I speak, we do not have many answers. So we are going to start with the pitches. We have 4 different companies from 4 different places that are going to show their capabilities, and when we finish with them, we will go to the questions and answers, and we will close the event. First, I want to thank the people from Eurofex. It's a company from Noain here in Navarre. They are physically here in the room. I want to thank Adrián Valdeolmillos, who will be presenting their capabilities to all of us. Adrián.
Yeah, now, right? Yeah, much better. Okay, I start again. So my name is Adrián Valdeolmillos, coming from Eurofex, and here's my colleague Íñigo Laseras as well from the innovation department. We are Eurofex, and Spanish Navarre-based startup. We are 3 years old, more or less, just for you to have an idea. And our current our main challenge we solved by the beginning we started with this project was to try to create a more circular way of the water, at the same time as of course eliminating as much chemicals used in the wastewater industry as possible. Okay. Took me the slide, right? So yeah, what we have developed is an advanced technology for water regeneration, and principally in the industrial processes. So our focus was to have big volumes, big caudals as well, using a sustainable, cost-effective, and chemical-free solution that will produce big water savings, big chemical savings, and energy savings in some processes, which at the end is as well very, very cost effective. Okay, it is a known patented technology, and it is both and you will see it now, it's a hardware part and as well as a software application in order for controlling. Okay, so this is the main technology, which is our photoelectrocatalysis technology, which is the technology in which the Eurofex technology is based on. Okay, it is a patented set and modular technology that combines 3 different advanced oxidation processes as just in one step. So you see there how it looks like our hardware, and inside of the hardware are the reactors in which we do these 3 different phases, which is the photooxidation for the terminated action, the electroxidation for the generating natural disinfectants, and the 3rd phase, the photocatalysis, in order to produce hydraulic radicals. Okay. Yeah, just in order to briefly comment about the technology. Well, as I said, Eurofex is not just only based on hardware, which is as well having a software monitoring controlling application, which is our UAP software, which allows the client to control and monitor all the water process in real time, being able to know how many money they are saving or how all the water parameters are in each different moment. Okay. Next slide, please. Talking about impact and applications, okay, which is, I'd say, the most important part of the presentation. Well, we are capable of up to 90% of water savings in where we apply the technology. okay, with 100% of chemical savings, principally biocides, okay, which are used on different industries and different applications, leading to a maintenance reduction up to 75% because of this digitalization we produce in every single process. We include our technology because you have real-time control on this process that nowadays is more or less manual control. We are capable to save as well a lot of energy, principally in this process in which the water is heated and pumped as well. And because we don't use chemicals, we increase the lifetime of the equipment in up to 20%. Okay, because there is no incrustation, corrosions in the process in which we apply the technology. Just for you to know and to make an idea of the profitability and results we give to our clients, we are around a 2 years payback, sometimes even less, which is very competitive within for an industrial ecosystem. Okay. Yeah, next slide, please. Well, it is true that our main application was, or main objective was to apply the technology in the agri-food industry because of the multiple use cases were with in relation with the water. But yeah, well, we have been working with multiple industries during these 3 years, as can be the manufacturing industry, principally the automotive one, the agri-food industry, as said, as our main sector, the chemical, pharmaceutical, and even the real estate. Okay, it's a versatile technology, and we have different as well solutions for different use cases, as you can see here on the screen. We would like to talk about the EuroRec in this speech, which is our solution for the reuse of wastewater in cooling and cleaning system in accordance with the provisions of the Spanish law. So yeah, next slide. So yeah, so but it's true we have been applying the EuroRec technology, for the microbiological control and the removal of inorganic and emerging contaminants, and we have been doing some tests with some main players, principally linked with this ecosystem, and I think in the next slide you will see how we are executing with the contaminants of this ecosystems. Okay, so that's why we think that Theresa could be a good option for us to explore, because we have been working as well in this side. Okay, potential partners. Yes, as the last slide. Okay, we are of course open to listen from anybody coming from any water procurement company, in order to complement our technology for this specific case, as well as digital solution companies that can, for example, help us on the measurements or for the predictions as well. So I'd say there is a contact data on the last slide, so we will be pleased to have further conversations.
Thank you very much, Adrian. We have one question from the audience who is asking if the water treated with your technology can be reused.
Well, in fact, yes, but there is some parameters of for example, in Spanish real law, the real decree, that we are able to achieve in order to reuse that water, but it's necessary to make a complete study of how is the water inlet parameter, chemical parameters flow, and this kind of thing. But yes, we have already these applications side. Yeah. Also take care because we are the designers and the producers of our own reactors. So in case that the different water parameters. It's not the same water in Navarra or in Catalonia or in other way. We can make the reactor depending on this water quality. So a good point that we are applying with our technology. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your participation in the event. We are really looking forward to see your solution.
We hope so. Thank you so much. Right.
Next, we have the participation also from Taltech, from Tallinn, Estonia. We have here Sergey Price. Sergey, the floor is yours. You have 10 minutes.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm talking about the technology publicly known as plasma application. In particular, it's so-called pulsed corona discharge, which is, let's say, if I would see the next slide, can we? Yes, the technology of pulsed corona discharge is called up to replace ozone application. The idea is that if we need a local wastewater treatment for hospital, it seems to be logical to remove the suspended solids and then to treat water by oxidation to remove pharmaceuticals. This could be commercially done by ozone application, with one unpleasant thing: the ozonation is expensive. We made certain efforts during last years to replace ozone with plasma, which appears to be 2 to 10 times more energy efficient than ozone application. At the picture, you may see the pilot device, which was working in Finnish hospitals, 2 of them, and I would like to see the next slide. The principle of plasma treatment is on the picture illustrated by reaction equations, showing that the pulsed corona discharge is able to produce active OH radicals, the main oxidant in this process, from water molecules, which is the most useful feature of this approach. Ozone in the third equation is also formed and plays a certain role in oxidation, especially in combination of water treatment with treatment of, for example, sludge, which is inevitable in wastewater treatment, we like it or not. At the picture, you may see the discharge glow because of the presence of nitrogen. Nitrogen gives this pink color. Air may be replaced with oxygen, increasing the energy efficiency by the factor of 2. So 2 times more effective oxidation if we use oxygen. Can I ask for the next slide? Thank you. The impact, what we could expect, is the energy efficiency. Let's say economy in energy may reach up to 10 times compared to conventional ozonation, which is confirmed experimentally. dependent on the water matrix we treat and some other factors like molecular structure. We don't need any chemicals. Operation and servicing is simple and very rare. The first device built in 2009 works until nowadays with no problem. And the cost of equipment is comparable to the equipment of commercially available as a nation, although the technology is not easily commercially available. It is still under the development. At the picture, you may see the pulse oscillogram for voltage and current, showing how short is the pulse. The length is about 100 nanoseconds, which allows treatment of any kind of liquid with any conductivity without sparking or any other unpleasant phenomena. The device is reliable. Can I see the next? Yes. I start with the picture on this slide. There is a picture of a hospital in Finland, Lappeenranta. At the left, in the left jar, you may see the original wastewater with sediment and color. And the right side shows the treated wastewater, which was not coagulated. It was treated after settling straight in the pulse corona discharge, showing total removal of all identified pharmaceuticals, at the energy dose of 2 kilowatt-hour per cubic meter. So there are options. There are options of organization of the process to be discussed when the solution is applied. I represent Tallinn Technical University, so we do not produce anything, but our partner in Finland, the Vuoksi company, osakeyhtiö, is developing and producing the devices. This is probably all I could say for now, and I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Sergey, for your presentation. We have a question from the audience. They are asking that since the technology is still under development, which is the current technology readiness level, the current TRL of your technology?
Yes, thank you for this question. I'm in doubt what to put there, TRL 6 or 7. 7 probably is too high, but we tested this technology with hospital wastewater at the hospital site. So we are probably at TRL 6. Although I have to say that the chemistry of reactions, when I filled the form, it was a very long list of pharmaceuticals to be oxidized. There is no explicit information concerning all these substances. We tried few of them, and I may say that 58 components or 58 micropollutants which were, let's say, tested in Finland, they are removed practically entirely, except caffeine. Caffeine seems to be the most resistant, present in the highest concentration available in hospital wastewater.
thank you very much for your participation. As I said, I'm looking forward also to see your proposed solution. Thank you very much. Now I would like to welcome the representatives from Matisa, Omar Fernandez. They are a company from Granada in Andalusia, here in Spain, and they will be showing us also their solution and their technology. Omar, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here in Navarra for this event. We are Atisa, a company with more than 35 years of experience in the field of healthcare waste management. And in the last 6-7 years, we have been developing a solution for the elimination of toxics and pollutants from hospital wastewaters. Then this is our solution, integrated management of hospital wastewater. Okay, so we already talked about that, but what is the specific problem that we are dealing with? Under our perspective, the national and European water laws and municipal wastewater regulations prohibit the discharge of hazardous substances into the sewer system. We identify different toxics that are not allowed to be discharged nowadays to the sewage system, so we have to find solutions to deal with that. These are chemotherapy drugs, different pharmaceuticals like antibiotics and the metabolites, antimicrobial resistance bacteria and their genes, other ecotoxic drugs that have been already identified by European directives. And well, about the radiology contrast media, we have our doubts because of course they are persistent, but we don't think they are, or there is an evidence that they are toxic. So we are putting in this point interrogation. So, but okay, we can deal with that with different solutions. So under our research and developing from the last years, we identified different compounds that are being discharged to the sewage from the hospital wastewater, and they are all coming from the patient excreta, mainly the urine. The urine is the main problem that we have to deal with. And there is no any commercial solution that we can find a feasible solution in the market that we can find for our hospitals. So this is the situation right now. And what is our solution? Okay, our solution is based on three main components, let's say. First of all, we drive a separation of the urine matrices from the source by using an urine diverting and collection system with toilets, specific toilets, okay? We already tested that at the hospital level in Granada and in Vigo, in 2 different hospitals. And then once we have the matrices of urine collected and storage in this specific deposit, we develop a treatment by 2 specific advanced oxidation processes. We validated and certified in a relevant environment these advanced oxidation processes, okay? And then there is a third component that it's very important, that is a monitoring sensing system that is integrated in our with different devices in our solution. This system will provide us very high valued information for the clinicians, for the epidemiological purposes. This is what we call right now wastewater epidemiology, okay? And to do so, we are working in collaboration with different companies. One of them that can make, through the use of biosensoring, some specific test with metagenomic, and we can find some resistant genes, different species of bacteria that are being present in the wastewater. So we can talk about a smart hospital wastewater treatment, and then we can give added value to the hospital for their purposes on clinical infection control programs and so on. So what the expected impact of our solution? As we said, we separate from the source the urine matrices. So we reduce the volume by 1,000 times compared to other solutions that are going to treat the total volume of the hospital wastewater. So this is a first important point, because we will reduce the resources needed to treat this wastewater. And we can make a stronger, let's say, and more specific treatments as we have more concentrated all the contaminants, the pollutants. The efficacy, our rates are very high for chemotherapy drugs and pharmaceutical degradation, higher than 80% for most of them. And for most of them also, for a lot of them, 100% elimination. And for the antimicrobial resistance bacteria and their genes, there is a total elimination. As I said, our system is highly efficient because it needs low consumption of energy and reactives. Selecting the best efficiency and sustainable advanced oxidation process technology will lead us to reduce this reactive consumption and energy consumption. And the added value, as I mentioned, we got a high contribution for the hospital infection control programs by providing early information about potential infection outbreaks. This is an added value that we think is important to take into account. So our solution will allow us to comply with the European national regulation, regional and municipal regulations, and it's following the EU Action Plan on Antimicrobial Resistance. As I said, we already tested partially this solution in the different hospitals. So we already installed these urine diverting toilets in the oncohematology hospitals in Granada and Vigo. And we were for 5 months collecting the urine coming from chemotherapy patients. And in these deposits, this collection system, and we bring it to our facility in Ciudad Real for the final treatment. Okay, so we did not make the final treatment on site yet, but we did it in our facility, so we get the certification of a accredited laboratory of the results. So this is our proposal based on a service providing. Okay, we will provide the equipments and provide the service for the hospital. Okay. And that's all.
Thank you very much, Omar, for your presentation. I must say that from the point of view of the consortium, it's really great to see that there are many different technologies which are really close to the market, and that really gives us an impression that we are actually going to emerge victorious from this long journey. Thank you very much for your presentation. And last, we have Joris de Cruz from NX Filtration in Engelo from the Netherlands. Joris, can you hear us?
Yeah. Welcome everybody.
Are you going to share your screen, or do you want us to?
I will share my the presentation in detail.
Perfect. Then the floor is yours. You have 10 minutes.
Okay. Let me know if it's already shared.
We can see your presentation now.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, thank you very much, and also for giving the opportunity to pitch a little bit our idea. I'm here together with my colleague Dennis Reuring. He also has separate in the meeting about let's see how we see that we want to tackle this decentralized solution for hospital wastewater. We're NX Filtration, so we're a membrane company. We make membrane modules used for treatment of water Typically, that's done on large scale, so large scale municipal applications, but also industrial scale, where we help to either treat industrial wastewater or actually also treat surface water or groundwater to serve as a substitute for drinking water. Next slide is a little bit on the history of our company, a relatively new company. We're now 10 years old. And we focus ourselves mainly on hollow fiber nanofiltration technology, where conventional membranes, they either completely desalinate all the water or they just remove particulate matter. We have something in between, nanofiltration, designed to keep the minerals in the water, but retain color, dissolved organics, and that also includes emerging contaminants such as organic micropollutants. So what we have seen for us, what is the biggest problem if you look at wastewater treatment techniques in the hospital, because we also did some tests on there, is that current techniques are not really designed to treat, let's say, all these upcoming contaminants that are in the water, at least not those that are in place. Now, traditionally, people do it with biology. Very good at removing nutrients, removing biodegradable matter, but not so good in removing all these more difficult chemicals that are not that biodegradable. On the other hand, we've seen that here as well. There are a lot of physical chemical treatment methods available. We supply that as well because we supply different nanofiltration membranes. They're very good at removing these components. Also, oxidation is very good at removing these components. But when you go to larger scale, and it's something that we also experienced when treating hospital wastewater, the efficiency and the efficacy of these physical chemical treatment methods, they suffer very much from the biological activity of the wastewater of a hospital, because it's not biological treated yet. Meaning you put in too much energy and too much effort to really degrade the harmful contaminants. So what we want to propose is decentralized solutions with several partners, where we at the hospital both can, with MBR, can treat biologically the effluent, small-scale systems that can do that, then follow up with a physical chemical treatment that is a combination of hollow fiber nanofiltration and an advanced oxidation, as we also do on large scale, only on decentralized scales. So what you then end up with is a whole solution that tackles both nutrient removal and the biological treatment of your wastewater. You have multiple barriers for pathogens and OMP removal, and in the end you have water that abides by Water Framework Directive, but is actually clean enough to even be reused in certain industrial applications. So a three treatment scheme is what we supply, where the middle part is what we supply, hollow fiber nanofiltration membrane, a biology treatment that is small, as you see on the right, and any kind of advanced oxidation that is most suitable. That can be an ozone, that can be UV peroxide. That is up for debate what you can do. And these three techniques, they work in synergy with each other. So what do we expect of the impact is that you can meet, as we see also on a large scale, is the removal of organic micropollutant according to the upcoming EU Water Framework Directive directly on site at the hospital. You have pathogen removal because there's both a membrane and an advanced oxidation process. You have double barriers also for antimicrobial resistance substances that is removed. You also remove directly nutrient by the biology, so not via oxidation. That leads for a hospital wastewater that can, depending on your country, reduce OPEX a lot. In the Netherlands, for instance, we pay a lot for nutrients that we put into our sewage system. I don't know how that is in France. So you can actually expect an OPEX reduction in your wastewater treatment. And you have a high quality permeate that is suited for reuse. The technologies we expect to combine as our solution, they are made for decentralized remote monitoring systems that have a low maintenance solution and are able to provide a total solution. So that's roughly what we want to propose. I thought I only had 5 minutes, so with that I would like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your presentation and for your collaboration with this project and this consortium. Well, those were the 4 pitches that we had in this event. Please, if you're interested, keep signing up for all the different events and also presenting your technology, and also take into account, please, the tool that is going to be available in our website in order to find possible potential partners for your solution. We are now reaching the end of the event. We have some presentations, some questions, sorry, from the audience that we are going to answer right now in our questions and answers section. We are going to read the most relevant ones since we have only 10 minutes. But well, I think that more or less they are all of them addressing the same things. First, again, we have the question about if the presentations and the recordings will be shared. As we said, yes, they will be shared and they will be accessible through our webpage. If it will be possible to amend the questionnaire after the submission, yes, because you can submit another answer indicating that you are amending some sections. Because the tool is what it is, and you have to resend the questionnaire in order to amend, because you cannot edit what you have already submitted. And remember, submit is the word, okay? That's the button. Then we have a question that if the questionnaire will be available as an offline version in your Word, the answer short is no. For now, the questionnaire is based on a tool provided by the European Commission, which is the EU survey, and it doesn't allow modifications of submitted questionnaire, and also it does not allow to upload doc or docx documents with the solution. So you will have to answer it through the online tool. Remember, it will be open until the 24th of February, sorry. Then we have a couple of questions about the procedures. First of all, we have a question about if the partners and manufacturers are obliged to be from the consortium countries or from any other European Union country. They can be from any European Union country, okay? It's not only from the consortium countries. And then we have also another question, if there are any requirements related to the consortia configuration, like maximum or minimum number of partners from same or different European Union countries or company type, size leading the consortium. Okay, the short answer also is no. You are free to organize your consortia as you seem appropriate to actually accomplish with all the requirements. Our interest is that the solution provided is what we are looking for, and it answers the challenge that we are going to propose in our tender, not to organize your consortia as we want. Okay, and with these questions and inside the agenda, I want to again thank you all for your cooperation, for your participation in this event, for your interest in Theresa PCP. We are looking forward to see you again in the different webinars that we are going to have during these 2 months, and also we are looking forward to see your possible solutions to our challenge, that we hope we will have many different attendance to our tender. Once again, thank you very much from Pamplona, from Navarre, from Theresa PCP, and we hope this has been useful for you all. Okay, goodbye to all.